Carlos, I've got you as a co-host.
Okay,
We are live in the Deering Dream Team now. Darla, good to see you again.
you too.
There I am.
There's Bill. There we go. Hey, Darla, good to see you. Veronica Thomas.
Got two cameras hooked up to my computer here, and I'm wondering, why am I looking at the back of my head? Well, I have that computer, that phone, or whatever. Never mind. Too many videos.
That's funny. All right, so we're gonna talk. This kind of hit me last night. We were on Maria's training, and Tara Scary was having trainings, and all these people were having these trainings going on. It seemed like yesterday, and there was this common thread throughout all of the training, and it was social media, how to get out there, how to engage, how to build relationships, and all of these different things. And everybody kept saying the same thing, something that Carlos and I have been talking about for a long time now, Facebook Lives, and just how important they are. And I got to thinking of how many people during a week or during a month ask me, well, what's the best way to do a live, or how do I do a live, or what should I use? Should I do them from the computer? Should I do them from my phone? What if I want to do dual lives? How do I do all of that stuff? And we talk so much a lot of times about the concepts behind doing these things. Here's what you need to do. Here are the things that you want to talk about. Here's the content and how you can find it with ILT and all, how many times a week, and on and on and on. But a lot of times we don't talk about just kind of, maybe a little bit on the technical side of how we actually do these things and how we can do them and make them, be the best. Now, one of the things that I'll tell you right up front is you don't worry about being perfect on them. Okay. I've got a webcam, an external webcam attached to my computer. It's, and I'm gonna go over kind of some of those things so you guys can pick and choose what you want to do. But I'm gonna tell you kind of this. You can see this. I'm just in my office here, and I've got a couch over there. And in fact, let's see, the door's on. There we go. Now we're on the right side. Okay. So now what you're seeing is exactly the right flip, if you will, of my office. The door is behind me over here. That green thing over on this side is a couch, and so it's just a normal office, kind of. It doubles as my grandson's and my granddaughter's place to come in and hang out with me too. So, and a bunch of my wife's stuff and everything else, typical stuff, right? But you can get as elaborate. People actually take a lot of time to do studios, right? To put lights and backdrops and green screens, and you can see behind me over on this side here that big tall stand right there. That's actually a stand that holds a green screen if I want. And all a green screen is if I put that behind me, then when I edit, I can edit all the green out and put myself on the beach or put myself in the city or in a different office. And, it's just like, you see the weather people on TV. So I've got a green screen, and you probably can't see it from here, but, it's not there anymore. Well, I guess it's behind that kind of the black behind there. That's a little circular case. And if I take it out of there, it pops open into this big round green screen. It's green on one side and blue on another side. So, you can get as elaborate as you want. But I want to talk to you today about how to do, from how to do simple Facebook Lives to some inexpensive ways to make your Facebook Lives a little bit better. And then talk about a new thing that's been on Facebook for a little bit of it. I don't know when it actually started, but there's a lot of people that they've seen it, but they don't know really a lot about it, called watch parties. And the cool thing about watch parties are you can go out there. It's like creating your own movie theater. And the cool thing about, the movie theater is that you can invite a bunch of your friends. Let's go see a movie, right? What's coming out? Captain Marvel's coming out tonight. Right? So we could say, okay, hey, let's everybody go watch Captain Marvel. And we just go there. We don't have to interact. We don't have to talk. We don't have to do anything. All we have to do is create the theater and invite everybody there. And funny enough, Facebook's icon is a little popcorn, bucket for their watch parties. So that's their whole concept behind it is you have the ability to take one of your videos that you've done or even other people's videos and use those as these watch parties. Okay, so we'll talk about how you can, put that stuff together and get it going. All right, make sense? This is yes, this is no. Okay, good. Everybody's awake. Veronica's kind of like Kilroy. I can just see her at the top of her eyes. All right, Steve, good to see you. Okay, so let's just talk about the number of ways that we can do Facebook Lives, right? We can do a Facebook Live using these little things right here, right? Everybody knows what this is. Okay, this is what most people, I would contend, most of the people in this Zoom today are doing their Facebook Lives using their phones. And it's great. They've got good, now these phones have better cameras. Actually, and I'm going through a course kind of part-time on the side of how to get better pictures from your iPhone, how to get better movies and stuff like that with all these cool settings and everything else, so that when I'm taking selfies or pictures when I'm at a convention or a road show or something like that, I can get a little bit higher quality to post on my Facebook and so forth. This is very, very simple to do, right? I go to my Facebook app, I click on the Facebook app, and then I tell it I want to go live. Now I'm going to try something right now, and you guys can tell me if this works, because you know how we love technology. I'm going to plug in my phone, and I am now going to try and share my phone. Now, can you guys see my phone? Yes? All right. So
yeah, we can see it, Ron.
All right, awesome. Isn't this cool? You guys
That's
are watching
amazing.
my phone.
That is amazing.
Your phone.
You'll see that picture there in the background. The young lady on the left is my youngest daughter, and the lady on the right is her oldest daughter, my oldest granddaughter. So, two very amazing women. So to go live, I'm going to go up here, and I've got all of my stuff kind of in folders. I would just go to my Facebook app, right? What's on your mind? Oh, actually, see the little live right there? I could just go hit live. And now here I am. I'm ready to go. I can go live right from here, right? Or I can say what's on your mind, type in what I'm going to type in, and then hit the little blue guy here, hit live video. And again, I can go live, right? And that's all there is to it. Now you've got all these little things down here where you can hit the star wand, and I think it gives you little cool things you can do with your face and all these other things if you really don't want to get fancy. I typically don't. That's kind of strange. I don't know if you guys can see. It doesn't look like you're seeing what I'm seeing right now. So that's all there is to going live. Really straightforward. Now, here's what I will tell you. When I go live, I take mine and I turn it this way. Landscape, right? So it's facing this way. It's a much better way to do it. Now, if you decide to do it this way, you're going to get those black bars on each side of it. And that's called, it's called something. I can't remember the name of it right now. But you don't want that to happen if you can help it. I mean, if you're doing something and it's easier to hold it this way, then hold it this way. But if I'm doing a live with somebody, or I'm just doing my normal lives and I'm going to use my phone, I'm going to turn it this way. I just always do. Okay. So does that make sense with everybody? That's just really straightforward on how you go live using your phone. So, and I think that most people, that's what they do. They go live using their phones because it's nice and easy, you know. And then you've got selfie sticks. Now, I know Carlos, he does his outside all the time, and I'm pretty sure he's got a selfie stick. And I didn't pick the color. Okay. So, you know, Steve, if you say anything about the color, I know where you live, right? Okay.
Must be pink.
It's pink.
Yay.
Yeah. I know all the ladies are going, oh yeah, it's pink. It's my feminine side. So all this does is I just turn it around and this thing, you know, extends. And the cool thing about this one is it's got a little adapter, plug that goes into it, you know, and you can charge it, but then it's got this light. Okay. So it's really cool because now I go in here and I put my phone in here and let's see if I can, oops. So now I've got my phone in here. And if the lighting is not good, I'm outside in the dark or someplace, I just, boom, hit this little button 3 times and I got different intensities of the light. And then the other button on here is a Bluetooth connection to my phone. So I can start and stop video. I can take pictures. I can do all of that stuff. And this thing extends out pretty far. Okay. So it's got a pretty good length on it. So it's a pretty cool selfie stick. And on the side here, you'll see a little adapter, a little plug-in where you can charge it, and you just hook it up to a USB charger, and you're ready to go. So again, and I forget how much this thing. It wasn't very much, $20 maybe less. And it comes with a nice little bag case. Folds up real nice and small. You just throw it in here, and now you've got a selfie stick that you can carry anywhere with you. Great when you're going to conventions. You know, if I'd forgotten to take it with me when I went to the roadshow. I wish I'd have had it because there was a lot of times, and Darla, she was there. We had a lot of people around us and doing stuff, and I'm trying to do things and hold it out, and I've got really short arms, and I'm really short, so having a selfie stick would have been really nice. Again, not very much cost, but a great asset, a great tool, physical tool to have in your kit to make your live videos and your pictures and your posts and everything stand out more than the average person is doing, right? And when I say the average person, I'm talking about the person maybe that is just starting their business, not knowing what to do. If you notice, a lot of the people that are really out there doing great lives at their conventions, or for us, like at the roadshow, Andre Popa is a great one, man. He does some really great lives, and he's got his selfie stick, and he's going around interviewing people and doing all kinds of different things. It looks almost like a professional kind of TV show and a reporter and everything else. Now, you don't have to be that good. And that comes down to you taking the time to practice and do it and do it and do it. And as you do it, you're going to get better and better and better. But having the right tool, it's like trying to hammer a nail with the end of a screwdriver, right? Yeah, I can pound it in eventually, but it sure would be a lot better if I had a hammer to do it. So, it may be worth, and unfortunately, that particular model only comes in pink. So I've had to live with that. So that's really the ins and the simplicity of doing them with your phones. Now, here's the thing I will tell you: if you're going to do what Carlos and I in the beginning did a lot of, and we don't do as many now, but we still do them. If you're going to do what we call a dual live. So, for instance, maybe I'm gonna, connect up with Veronica, and her and I are gonna go live on her page, and we're gonna do an interview. If you're gonna do them on your phones, and you can do that, you can join each other on a live. Here's what I'll tell you: if one of you has an Android, one of you has an iPhone, it's very difficult to do. It just never seems to connect right. It just never seems to work right. There's some sequence, I think, that I got it working a couple of times. Like the person on the Android has to invite the other person, or the person on the iPhone has. I don't know what the sequence is, and it never seemed to be the same. But If you're both on different phones, it's a little bit more difficult for you to do a live, what we call a duo, with two of you on there at the same time, side by side, where you can interview each other. There are other options, okay? And we're going to talk about that real quick. But that's the phone. Now, if you're both on iPhones, or you're both on Androids, it seems to work very cleanly and very well, all right? The other thing that I invested in, which I use all the time when I'm doing anything on my phone, is this little guy right here. And this is not, again, I think it was like $20, $25 maybe, but it's just a little tripod. Okay, it's called a Cowboy Studio tripod, and it's just really nice. It sits right here on my desk, and I got a little adapter so my phone fits in, and I can go up and down with it. I can get a little bit taller. The legs extend if I need to get a little bit taller, because sometimes I might go do it on the couch over here and set the tripod on this hope chest. But it keeps me from having to hold it and do this. Now, most of you, I'm sure, are very steady. But if you're not, if you're like, yeah, Thomas, if you're like me, then you might end up being all over the place, okay? So those are kind of the things that when we talk about cameras and your phones and so forth, that are relatively important. But when it comes to the two things that you really need to make sure of that work well is obviously the video. You want the video to be very clean if you can. But even more so, you want your audio to be good. Because I don't know about you guys, gals and guys, but if I'm watching a video and the video is really good, say like right now, my videos probably looks pretty clean to everybody, but if you'd only watch that for a little while, right? And then it'd be like, okay, I can't understand a word he's saying, I'm out of here. So if I have to choose between high quality video and high quality sound, I'm going to choose high quality audio every single time. Okay. Hey, Stacy. So it's if you're using your phone, the one audio thing that I invested in was one of these little, it's called a lapel mic. And because I've got the new iPhones, I had to get a little adapter on it, but and of course, no matter how you try to put these things away so they don't get tangled, the little elves get into the little bag and they tangle them all up on purpose. I don't know how it happens. Somebody crawls into this little bag, and even though I wrap this up and make sure it's not tangled and everything else, when I pull it out, it's all tangled. But all it is just a little, and I hope you guys can see this, right? It's just a little clip-on lapel mic, but it's very, very high quality. And it plugs in, it's just a plug into your phone. Now, if you've got a new iPhone, then I had to get an adapter so that it could plug into the lightning connector. So it just plugs into the bottom of my phone like this. And then it just clips on, I just clip it on my shirt, right? The difference in the sound is phenomenal. Especially, it's got, it comes with a little, what they call a little pop filter, little, it's like a foam cover on top of the mic to keep, the wind noise and all of that stuff down to a minimum. And it makes the sound 10 times better. And again, it's not really that expensive. All this stuff you can get on Amazon. It's not that expensive at all. And you buy it one time and you're done. And you've got yourself a little, studio, right?
Ron?
Yeah.
I just saw an ad on Facebook for an ad. I mean, if you're going to send somebody out, if somebody wants to buy a microphone, if you haven't bought one yet, I don't know, what did you pay for that little lavalier that you have?
This is a Rode, so I think I think it was less than $20, or it might have been just a little over $20.
Right, I've got one too. I've got one. I could look at that. I've got one too. Look at that.
Yeah.
But the thing I saw on Facebook now, they're making a wireless Bluetooth microphone. It's by a company. It was on Kickstarter, and it was a company called Hey Mic, HeyMic. Hey Mic, and if you look it up, it's like $100, but it's just the clip with no wire between the phone, so you can clip it anywhere, and it has an app for the phone, so that if you connect the phone to like a tripod, you could be across the room and then start the recording on the mic, and the mic sounds like you're right next to the phone. It's the coolest thing.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, the first, my next commission check, I think I'm buying one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just want to throw that out there. It's called Hey Mic, HeyMic. If you look it up, you'll find it. So,
Yeah, you might put that in the chat, Bill.
No commission.
You might. Would you mind putting that in the chat so everybody just type that in?
I'll find it. I'll find it.
Yeah. Audio is just one of those things that if you have bad audio, I've seen people outside doing Facebook Lives with no mic and just holding their phone up or on a selfie stick or something, and the wind is blowing, so you can hardly even hear them. If you guys, I'm sure, have seen that before too. And they're talking away, and they're maybe down at the beach, and they may be in a fantastic place, visually for where they're at, but you can't hear them. So after a while, it's like, yeah, I don't want to listen to that anymore. So I can't stress enough that audio is very, very important when it comes to your lives, when it comes to your videos. Even if you're doing a video that you're going to record a video and then upload it to Facebook or YouTube or one of the other services out there, making sure that your audio is good is very, very important. Now, the next thing, then once you've either decided, okay, I very seldom now, unless I'm out and about, do my lives. The lives I do on a daily basis, I do right from my computer now, because I can use my, what's it called? Logitech. I can use my Logitech webcam, which is a 1080p webcam, which is really good. But the good news is that with the Mac computers, there's a program out there called Ecamm, ECAMM Live. And what Ecamm Live allows me to do is it's like a studio. So I can go live on Facebook, and I can put little lower thirds. You know how when you see on TV and the news, it'll flash up the guy's name and what they do, or the gal's name and what they do, and all of that stuff, or the title of the segment. And so I can put all these different things in. I can share my screen during the live, things I can't do if I'm doing a live on my phone. If I'm doing a live on my phone, I can't share my screen. I can't do training. I can't, do anything like that. I can just do a live, right? But if I can do a live from my computer, now I can share my screen and actually create a webinar, if I want. I can do a training. I can do all kinds of different things. So for the Mac, the best software I've found to do that, other than Zoom, is Ecamm Live, ECAMM Live. And I don't know, I think there's a basic version for one time $20 or something like that. But it's really kind of cool. And you can set up your cameras, and you can set up different scenes so that you can jump, you can fade in and out to your other monitors and all that stuff. And it makes it really, really kind of cool. But again, now what did we just talk about? What's one of the most important things to have if you're going to do a live or a video? Your audio. So, and I know that, I hope everybody can see this. This is my mic and my water. Okay. So this is called a Blue Yeti. And if you look at it here, you can see that that's the mic. This thing I'm putting over top of it is what's called a pop filter. Because when you talk, you go, and those things make a microphone go crazy. So with that filter on top of it, it gets rid of all the pops and everything, and it makes your sound a lot better. Now, again, I don't know I don't know what these are running now. I think they're less than $100. It may be right around $100 for one. It's not something you need to go out and buy right now, but I want to give you an idea on the technical side of things, how you can upgrade your videos and your lives and to a better quality as you get doing them more and more and more. And having an external mic like this, instead of me just using the mic that comes with my computer, makes it sound a lot better. I'm assuming right now I sound really clear, and my audio is nice and clear, and you can see. Now the other thing is, and you can't, is what we call lighting, right? And here's the simplest thing that I found out years ago in doing lighting. What made really simple sense to me was I replaced all of my lights. Can you see this up here? And I've got a light over there on the my bookshelf. I've got another light over here on this bookshelf, and then I've got, you can kind of see that one. See with the umbrella on it and everything. That one is, if I turn this on, this is a professional light, okay? And I don't use it that often, because what I did was I went through our house a long time ago and I switched out all the yellow bulbs with these, what they call daylight bulbs. And again, they're not that expensive, and you know, we did them incrementally. But I started in my office here. I put a daylight bulb, which is like sunlight, on each of these lamps, and it makes the lighting a lot better throughout the whole room. And then if I do need it, maybe it's a really dark day out or it's at night or something, I'll turn on my umbrella light and use that. And it diffuses the light a lot better, and it's a much higher quality light. So the three things that make up your good videos, whether they're live or you're recording them and upload them, are obviously the video itself, the sound, which in my opinion is the most important, and the lighting. All of those things you can do with your iPhone, with your Android, making sure that you've got windows open if you're doing it in the house and there's light coming in, and making sure that you're close enough that the mic on the iPhone is picking you up, or your Android is picking you up clearly and everybody can hear you. But if you want to take it to that next level and make it that much more clear and that much more, you know, professional, if you will, in your lives and in your videos, then it's worthwhile getting a good microphone, whether it's a lavalier lapel mic, something like that. I like Rode. They've been around for a long time. It sounds like, I mean, they've got one of the best ones out there. The one that Bill was telling us about, I might be looking into that myself. Thanks a lot, Bill. Anyway, the Blue Yeti. In fact, now they've got one out called the Mini Yeti or the Small Yeti or something, or, you know, it's a little bit smaller, and it's probably like $60, $50 or $60. So it's even cheaper. But I saw it the other day, and it's blue. It's actually blue instead of the silver one that we say Blue Yeti for. So anyways, those are the main things. And then you choose whether you want to do it on your phones or you want to do it on your computers. Now, if you're on a PC computer, then there are other options. There are options. There's one called OBS, Open Broadcasting System. That's a free system that you can use, but the learning curve on using it's a little complex. Not too bad, but if you're not a techie, you know, you may find that it's not the way to go. You can actually go live without having any program other than Facebook. Now, you can actually go to your Facebook profile and on your computer and go live. No bells and whistles. You're just going to go live, and it's going to pick up whatever camera you have. Most laptops and desktops now come with cameras, and you can try it and see what it looks like and test it out. But if that's all you have, you don't have any other add-ons, no add-on mic, no add-on camera or anything to your desktop or your laptop, then I would recommend use, especially if you've got one of the new iPhones or one of the new Samsungs or Google phones or whatever that have these high-end cameras, the only thing that I would invest in, other than possibly an external mic, is a tripod so that you don't have to hold it with an adapter, and do your lives from there. Yep, exactly, Debbie. I forget, that one's called octopus or snake or something. I forget.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, because it's very adaptable. So now we talk about how to do the lives, and I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of how you can take your lives to a whole new level of quality that a lot of people don't even think about. They just turn their phone on and go for it, right? But the reality is that if you see your lives and they look blurry and they sound bad and everything else, how much do you think that does for your confidence in doing lives? Right? Not real good. So when we tell people that it's better to get out there and do them even if they're not great, that is absolutely true, because it's the old saying, I forget who said it. I think it was Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn or one of them, but you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So we want you to start. We want you to get out there and get in front of the camera. But I guarantee you, I mean, I'm looking at Bill's setup right now, and I know that he's used to this. He's professional. He knows he looks nice and clean, nice and clear. The lighting looks good. It's a crisp, picture.
I haven't even turned on the other light.
Well, if you've got something like that going on, you're going to feel a lot more confident in what you're doing, because it's like when we get up in the morning, we go outside. There are days when I don't know about you ladies, but us guys, we have hat days. If I wake up and I've had bed head, I throw my cowboy hat on, and that's how I greet the world. And it's not because, and you can see I keep my cowboy hat, my hat back there on top of the TV, so anytime I need it, I can grab it. But the reality is that if you can up the quality a little bit on your lives, you're going to look better, you're going to feel better, and you're not going to feel so confident. Is that the word? You're not going to feel so unself-confident. You're not going to worry about it. Okay, so. You got it?
It's self-conscious.
Yeah, that's it. I knew there was a C in there. Thanks, Steve. You're not going to feel so self-conscious because, you and there, see, now my face turns red. So just being able to have a little bit higher quality is good. Now, that said, do lives. Okay, and I'm going to clear my screen here in just a second, because I want you now to get into a little bit of nitty-gritty of why lives are important. Because me telling you how to do a good live, hardware-wise and techie-wise, is one thing. But until you decide you're going to do them, and here's the thing that I see all the time. People get up and they start doing their lives. And they just look grumpy. And I know some of you are chuckling. You've seen that. You've seen somebody, you've gone and you looked at someone's live and they're just getting started. And I won't criticize anybody's, because my first live years ago were terrible, and I don't know that they're at this point. But
Ron, somebody's dogs are over shouting you.
Yeah, whose are those? Do we know?
I don't know. I'm going to mute myself. So.
Okay.
It was me. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's probably going to be me here in a few weeks, because we bought our puppy, and we get him in Easter weekend. And when I say puppy, he's going to be like 20-some pounds when we get him. So, and probably 170, 180 when he's full grown. But anyways, so many people I see getting on these, doing their lives, and I know they're nervous. I know they're scared. And I know, they're like, okay, how's this going to look? And they'll go, okay, and today I want to tell you, I'm so excited. And and I've just started a new business in this CBD oil. Wow. It's just, you should try it too. Okay, thanks, bye. Okay. I'm not saying that's bad, but what I am saying is we all want to get better, right? And you need to improve. Biggest improvement. Even if I did the same exact thing, but my whole demeanor was changed, and I started my live by, hey, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but man, this CBD oil has changed my life. It's done so many great things for me. I'm making money in a business I've never made before. Don't ask me any questions because I don't know anything. I'm just so excited about what's going on. If you want to find out what I'm doing, please comment below. Which one do you think is going to get more reactions to it, right? The second one. So when I'm talking with people, and I do a lot of this, now with the team one-on-one, and they'll ask me, well, what's wrong? My lives aren't getting any engagement and things like that. Smile. Act like you really want to be doing what you're doing, right? Because people, how many of you've heard the saying that, laughter is contagious, along with crying, along with sadness, along with depression. All of those things are contagious, right? If you walk into a room and there's 10 of you sitting there, and it's amazing how one person can go, oh, woe is me. And the next thing you know, everybody's going, oh, yeah, that reminds me of the time that I had, or somebody can walk in and trip and fall and laugh and spill things, and everybody's laughing their butts off and having a good time, right? It changes like that. You have the ability to change an entire environment in an instant, good or bad. Good or bad. So you need to go into your lives with the intention that you are going to change the people on the other side of that camera. And the only way that you can do that is change yourself, right? So before I do my lives, a lot of times I will stand up and I might go and tickle the grandkids and get, do something funny with my current dog, or, just do something to kind of get the blood flowing and get myself excited about what I'm doing. Not that I'm not excited all the time, but I'm old and I get tired, so once in a while, I've been on lives that are at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock at night. I'm up at 3:30 in the morning, so I'm tired sometimes. Carlos always laughs at me because he'll call me and we'll be talking and I yawn, and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I didn't have my nap. But anyways, whatever you need to do, pinch yourself. Eat those Mexican laughing beans or whatever they are. I don't know. But if you can come away with one thing about your lives that you need to make sure you do, and I'm looking at your faces, I can give you some great examples. Gina. Gina's, she's one of these people that, her and Stacy and, a number of you here always have these big grins and smiles on your face. I don't, when she goes live, I immediately get on it, and it doesn't matter what she's going to say, because I know it's going to make me feel better just looking at her, seeing that smile, and seeing how happy she is. Devin is another great one. Everything that Devin has gone through, yet 98% of the time when I see her on a live and see her in front of the camera, she's got a smile on her face. She's thankful to God. It's just, Darla sitting there just with a big grin on her face. We met in Seattle, and she was just walking around, her and her husband, and she always had a grin on her face. And, she was just, that's what people want, right? People want to be around people that they want to be around, right? And if you're the person that every time someone comes up to you and they say, hey, how you doing? And you tell them, and it's, woe is me, my poor life, you're never going to, when we talk about you need to have a story, you do need to have a story. And that story needs to be a story that has a beginning and an end, right? As a beginning, I've gone through all these things, but now look where I'm at. For most people, their story is, I've gone through all these things, and that's it. They're still going through all those things, right? There's no upside to it. There's no positive side to it. There's no, it's like the books you read and the movies you go to see. There's no happy ending. And who wants to go to a movie where the whole movie is about, disaster, and at the end of the movie it's still a disaster, and they just like, it's like they ran out of money, right? How many times you've gone to a movie and you think, what'd you do? Did your budget go? You lost the money in your budget and you just stopped, right? What a stupid ending. Don't make your lives like that. Tell your story, but make sure your story has a happy ending, right? Make sure that there's a positive side of all that you do, okay? So I want to share my screen here real quick. I promised myself I would keep this to no more than an hour today, but all right. So this is just my profile, okay? So I'm showing you this just kind of, to go through and show you kind of a little bit about, what I post on a daily basis and so forth. So I did a live today, how to escape compare-itis, right? 19 people, 26 comments, 119 views. This is a watch party. We're going to talk about that here real quickly, okay? Here's another, just a post. Again, 16 people, 7 comments, 1 share. Another watch party I did, I think that was yesterday's. Shared something that from the Business for Home on our company. It's amazing. Some of you remember these mighty little choppers are still around. Spent a lot of time with these back in the 70s in the military. Jumped out of a lot of them. Breakthroughs, just standard, what is this? Okay. Oh. Here's another one, another live I did, right? 372, 83 comments, 5 shares. So 372 people were on that live, that viewed that live. 19 comments on this one about veterans. 21 likes on this one, 2 shares. Okay, here's another one, 284, 79 comments. But you can see there's a pattern here. When I do the lives, look at how much more engagement I get out of all the lives. So here's a good quote and everything. 60 people liked it, 6 comments, okay? Boom, here's a live, 389 views, 74 comments, and 5 shares. A lot more engagement each time, okay? This is the puppy I'm getting here in a few weeks. Can't wait. And so forth. So how do you do a watch party? Well, this is how simple it is. Once you've done a live, you'll notice on the lives, you can go over here. This one doesn't have it. Let me see, find one here. Okay, I'm going to click on this live. And of course, okay. So once I click on the live, it comes up. Then I can go down here to share, and you'll see where it says start a watch party. So all you do is click on that, start a watch party. Put something in here, some comment about what the watch party, some description about what the video is about and all of that, and say post. And then you've opened up the theater. The doors are open, and all you do now is sit back and watch. You don't even have to be there. Now, if you click, once it comes up and it posts, there's a little button that says join. If you join it, then you're a part of it, and then you can comment, you can answer people's questions as they're watching it. But basically, it is though you've just opened up your theater, and this is the video the movie that you're playing, and you can add multiple videos to this. I can add 5, 6 videos and have a watch party that goes on for a couple hours if I wanted to. Why, I don't know, but you could do that. Okay, the average attention span is like 7 minutes, so why I would want one for a couple of hours, I don't know. But that's how easy it is. You do your live, and if you want, you can come up to the beginning of your profile and just click in here And one of the things that you can do if you click the three little dots here is a watch party. So I can click on watch party. And then I can start picking, it's going to have suggestions of other videos that you might want. Maybe you found one that, you thought was really cool. You can go to other people's profile. So let's say I want to go to Carlos. I can go to Carlos's profile. And go down to one of his lives. And if I click share here, I can start a watch party using his video. So let's say you've got, maybe a Tony Robbins, something that's not some video that somebody did live that isn't going to be like on another representative, so people are joining with them. So let's say it's a great Tony Robbins inspirational video, or Robert Kiyosaki or something like that, right? Or Jim Rohn or whatever. You can start a watch party and add maybe 2 or 3 of those, little short ones, 10-minute ones. So it adds up to, maybe a 30-minute watch party. And people are just boom, 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 watch those. It goes on your profile. Now, I did one yesterday on all CBD oil is not created equal. And that was one of my lives that I got about 2.5K, in other words, 2,500 views on. So it was pretty popular. I got a new pre-enrollee out of that. Immediately after it was finished, someone reached out to me. She's looking at the business. There's a good chance she's going to come in. She was looking at our business and another one, and so far everything she's seen as a pre-enrollee she loves. That was my first watch party. And all I did was just sit there, did my work, and let that play in the background. I don't have to be live. I don't have to do anything. It happened to be one of my lives, but you could use anything. People need to see you. People do business with those they know, like, and trust. And if you're consistent out there, I know some of you are just getting started doing lives and being in front of the camera. And I can tell you that, it's like anything else that you do in life. When fear, and if you didn't watch this, I posted this in the Daring Dream Team. And it was a video, one of the last videos they played at the Roadshow. And they'll probably play it this week, tomorrow in Vegas. But it was a video of Will Smith. And he's talking about skydiving. Well, for me, that really hit home because I've got quite a few jumps, quite a few skydiving, quite a few military jumps, jumped out of a lot of planes. And I remember those feelings. And he was talking about how he and a bunch of his buddies had made this agreement to go jump out of a plane one night when they were all drinking and drunk. Okay, not a good thing to do on anything, but they did. And he spent like the whole night not being able to sleep and, worried about it, hoping that his buddies would not want to do it and everything. Well, when I got in the military and I decided to go into the field that I went into, part of that was I had to go through jump school down at Fort Benning in Georgia. And it was a 3-week school. And the first 2 weeks of that school are getting you prepared for the third week, which is what they call jump week. And that's the week that all you do that week is jump out of plane. Out of a C-130 or a C-141. Those first 2 weeks, all we could talk, and those first 2 weeks, boy, you're running 10 miles every day with packs and getting yourself physically trained and all kinds of other things, and jumping out of small towers and doing all kinds of stuff. But all the while, we all sat around and talked that night in the barracks about, wow, are we really doing this? We're going to jump out of a plane. This is going to be really scary. Well, that first day of jump week when we all got into planes, and I remember so clearly getting to the door after the green light comes on, and the jump master's up there just smacking everybody, getting them out of the plane, and you get to on a C-130, you get to the door, and you put your hands on the outside skin of the aircraft and pull yourself out and then curl together, and you've jumped, right? And the static line, or the Yeah, a static line is pulling your chute out of the pack for you. So you don't have to pull the ripcord or anything like that. It does it all for you. But you're still falling towards the ground, right? You just jumped out of a plane, and the only thing between you now and the ground is air, and hopefully your parachute open. The most amazing thing I've ever done in my life. And then you start skydiving where you're flying and through the air and everything else. But that fear up until you get to that point, you know what fear stands for, right? False evidence appearing real. You've got all this fear of all these things that could happen, and then you go ahead and do it, and wow. And I've had so many people that were scared to death about, doing their first lives, and then they do it, and they're like, wow, that wasn't so bad at all. I don't know what I was so worried about. So you just got to get out there and do it. Just got to get out there and get past that fear and do it. Steve, you got a question? You're muted. You're muted.
By mistake, I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go.
No question. No question. I must have pressed the button by mistake.
Okay, your hand is raised, so I'm going to lower your raised. Okay.
That's my microphone. I'm at work. I can't hear anything.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Ron, hi, it's Gina.
Hi, Gina.
I think it's Marcus saying that he can't hear anything. He's having trouble hearing us on the training.
Everybody else can hear me, okay, right?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Okay, we don't know what the problem is. Sorry, I just thought I'd point it out. Sorry, guys.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I saw that kind of come up, and then I was looking for Marcus, and I don't see him, so he must have jumped off. Yeah. All right. It's about 2:51 my time. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions at all? Any comments? No, I'm not growing my beard back until after October. Troy Barrett raised his hand. What?
Hello, Stacey.
Hello. Hey, Stacey.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Fantastic. I just thought I'd ask whether you could possibly just type a short list, maybe put it in the dream team of all the equipment.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I will try. What I'll do is I'll put a list together and links into Amazon where they can all be found. Okay.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Cool. You're very welcome. Good to see you. All right.
Hey, Ron, I have a thought or a suggestion, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Could you maybe put together a list of some suggestions on lives? Some topics that we can, try to work off of, suggestions on what we can talk about on lives, because that's probably the most confusing part of doing a live.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I will get with Carlos, and we'll see if we can put like a basic list to get started. Okay.
That would be great. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Troy Barrett, I see Troy is on here, and you guys understand that. Troy, are you? He's driving to Vegas.
Ron, you got me?
Oh yeah, I got you, Troy. I can hear you.
I know I'm going to just ruin your whole training you're doing here, but I am just rocked out of my mind. I just signed up 2 reps in Tonopah at the restaurant where we were just at, and I'm on my way to Vegas.
Now you guys all know Troy and his lovely wife Tracy and his daughter are in the car. There you go. Hi, Trace.
Hi.
And they are headed to the Mirage in Vegas. And actually, Troy is going to be speaking up there and giving his testimony. If he can walk, he behaves himself. He's got a damaged Achilles heel, tendon. So, and he hasn't even got to the event's tomorrow. But he's so, we've been like sending messages back and forth along the way on his trip, and he's like, I'm just so stoked. What does he do? He's got to sign up 2 people, in the restaurant. So for those of you that, have heard me say before that this business is about your story and your passion, that's what it's about. You get excited and are passionate about what you're doing, and you could be sitting at a restaurant and people, are going to reach out to you. You'll be amazed. Don't make this harder than it is. It's an easy business. Okay. But I should say this. It's not hard, but it is work. And the biggest job that you have as far as the work is continually, I tell everybody this day in and day out. It's right here for me too. Trust me, I get up some days and go, I talked to that person last night. What's going on with them? Don't they know? There are days that I get up and I'm frustrated. It doesn't last more than a couple of seconds typically, but the reality is that that's part of any business. It's not just that. If you're going to run a business and you want to have success in life, it's so much different. Most of us have had jobs all of our life, right? Or at least in some part of our lives. And the good news about a job is we go to our job, we know what we're supposed to do, we're told what we're supposed to do, we've trained for it or whatever, and we just do it. We may not like it, and it may be frustrating and everything else, but it's not like being on your own and having to build a business, whether it's, you bought a McDonald's or whatever. Talk to a McDonald's owner sometime, McDonald's franchise owner. I've talked to many of them, and most of them hate it. Hate it with a passion. I don't know how many of you have had kids. How many of you have teenagers right now? Anybody here have teenagers? Stacy, Thomas, okay, Troy, any of us that have kids, if we have teenagers, and my kids are well past teenagers now, they have teenagers, but now my kids are finding out what I went through with them, right? Okay. How would you like to have a bunch of them working for you in a McDonald's? Yeah. Remember when you were a teenager. So we've got the ability to have the best of all worlds, right? We can give ourselves our own raise just by working a little bit harder. And the people that win are, if you want to win, outwork the next guy or gal. When I get frustrated because I might be, a little competitive, who knew, right? I might be a little competitive and I want to be the guy on the top and I want to have my team on the top and everything. Guess what? I get up that morning, even at 67 years old, and I work harder than everybody else. Maybe not Aaron. I don't think anybody, I'm not that, when I was his age now, I got kids older than Aaron. So, but the reality is that's what it's all about. This is your business. I mean, Stacy's my hero. She lives in Ghana. And she's in a position where there's all kinds of things going on now with the company in Ghana, and she's building the business outside of Ghana and all that other stuff and everything. But she doesn't quit. She just keeps going. The rest of us here in the U.S., we hit one little speed bump along the way, and I said, oh, now what? And I'm guilty. I can tell you this because I'm guilty. I've been guilty for 40 plus years where, I'll be going along and something will come up and it'll sway me. It'll knock me off course. It's going to happen. The key is, as you're doing this, you're always going up. You're always continuing to move forward. The word quit isn't in your vocabulary. If the company quits on us, if something happens, the government comes in and says, I changed my mind, none of you guys can sell CBD oil the rest of your lives or whatever it is, you don't have any control over that. The only thing you have control over is what you do. The only thing you have control over is your attitude, your process, the things that you do in your life and your mindset. And if you get control of that, man, you can have some amazing, amazing success. Amazing success. What we've accomplished in the last 9 months isn't phenomenal, but it's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible. And I couldn't do it on my own. It's all because of all of you guys and the rest of the team. We're at 2,000 people now on the team. 2,000 people in 9 months. That's not shabby. That's pretty good, right? Talk to other business owners and see how long it took them, if they're even there, to build up a company that's got 2,000 employees. Right? It's a long time. You guys have in you the power and the ability to do any of that and more. Any one of you, I'm looking at all of you here, could easily bypass me. Guess who made 10K before I did? Carlos. Carlos hit 10K before I did. Now, did that motivate me? Oh, yeah. I told him, I said, don't get used to that. It ain't happening again. You know. Now I'm a 50K and he's a 25K, but that's okay. He's pushing. He'll be 50K this month. That's his goal. I look at Troy. You know, he's going to hit 25K. I look at every single one of you. Your 5K is the you know, you think it's the hardest one to hit, and it probably is. That first one is probably the hardest one to hit. But once you hit it, man, things just change. Things just change. You've now got a team. You've got people that you're depending on for your income, and they're depending on you for their income. But it's all up to you. It's all up to you. The road to success is in the service of many. When you take it away from yourself and put it on everybody else, how you can help them, everything changes for you. Everything changes. So I adore you guys. I am so glad and honored to be working with you. I know this has kind of been a technical training. I will try to get those documents and things out to you as soon as possible. And have an amazing Friday. Now, some of you are already like late Friday night. Like Stacy, it must be in the middle of the night, right?
It's 11 p.m.
11 p.m. Yeah, for me, that's the middle of the night. Yeah. Anything after 7 o'clock is the middle of the night for me. So, yes, Bonnie.
Comment on,
okay, go ahead. Okay.
About the Facebook Lives.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what other people's strategies are, but for me, I always keep a list in the notes in my phone. And every time I listen to my personal development, which is every morning, I pick at least one thing out of my personal development that I'm going to do a Facebook Live about. So then it means I never run out of topic.
Yeah, that's awesome. Steve, you heard that? Yeah, and as when you're going through your day and you're looking at profiles and that, and you see somebody that, you know, puts, and I do this all the time. I do the same thing on my Mac. They've got notes, and if I put them on my Mac, but then they transfer right to your phone and everything. So anytime I'm watching somebody else's profile, Stacy might be doing a live, and I'll think, oh yeah, she'll say something in there, and that triggers something that, oh, I want to tell people about this. I jot that down. You're exactly right. You know, that's a great way to do it. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Hi, Ron.
Strategies.
Sorry, Stacey. Let your big sister talk, okay?
Guess who sponsored Gina? Okay, I'll let you guys figure that one out, right?
Yeah, sorry, sis. One sec. What I was going to say was about the lives as well. Is that if you're too scared to do the lives like straight away, try and practice what you're going to say, but record it on your phone and do a little video, and then watch it back and review yourself, like be critical. And then you'll be able to find little things that you might tweak, because you know what you would like to see when it comes to people's videos and so on, their lives and stuff. You know what you're looking for. And also, when you're telling your story, make sure you try to put in how you feel and how you felt. Like, we always connect with, you know, when you say, oh, and I felt this, the pain of, or whatever, someone else will be watching it and think, oh my God, I know exactly how they feel. I feel that way too. So always put across how you felt that before CBD and how you feel now, and be excited, like how Ron says.
Well, and that's awesome, Gina, because one of the things I learned very, very early on, back in the old days of marketing, was a thing called feel, felt, found. Okay, and what that means is I know how you feel, just like Gina said. I felt the same way. This is what I found. Okay, so remember that: feel, felt, found. I know how you feel, but I used to have the same way. I felt the same way when I was dealing with, pain after surgery or whatever it was. Here's what I found: a little bit of CBD oil, helped me out immensely, or whatever it might be. You might be talking to somebody you might be doing a live on how to do a live, on whatever it might be. But that feel, felt, found, kind of strategy is very, very powerful, very powerful. People connect with emotions. There's a thing that we used to do back in the old days of Amway when I first got started back in the 70s. And the people in Amway were masters at this. And Robert and I have talked about this on a number of occasions. It's called dreamscaping. And when you're talking with your people, doing dreamscaping is something that we did this not long ago on one of Robert's training, and he picked out a young lady in our team, Amanda, and asked her, how much money would it take on a monthly basis to change your life right now, right? And we kind of all sat back and thought maybe it was going to be $1,000 or something like that. And she said $250. I could feed my family my kids on a regular basis, and $250. And you could see like tears coming down. I mean, and so the next thing Robert said is, if we could show you how you can make an additional $250 in your life, how would that make you feel? And she could hardly contain herself. I can't imagine. I would feel so amazing. It's so good to be able to take care of my family like that. You've now connected a feeling, an emotion, to a physical activity, to an event. And that can always be tied into that again, because it's easy for me now, 6 months down the road, if I'm talking to that person, they say, I'm having so much problems and so many challenges, and this is so hard. And, remember, Amanda, when we talked about what it would be like when you get that $250 and how it's going to change your life? Yeah, no, man, it would be so nice. And you can feel yourself getting emotional about it and her getting emotional about it. And the next thing you know, the person's back on fire again. They're excited about it because you're dreaming with them about what that emotional feeling would be like if you could change their life. So don't ever, I'm not an emotional person, haha. At least I wasn't all of my life until recently because of this family. But you guys have just turned me into a blubbering fool some days. But the reality is that emotions have got, as much as, I was taught all my life in the military and my career, you can't let emotions, lives are at stake, da-da-da-da. Emotions have a very, very powerful place in our lives. And it's just, and if if you think about emotion that we were talking about earlier, I love when Tony Robbins teaches about this. We were talking about smiling and acting excited. Guess what? The word emotion, emotion. Get yourself in motion. Swing your arms. Do something. If you've ever been to or watched any of Tony Robbins, videos, what's he doing, man? That guy is just, he's clapping. He's going crazy the whole time. He's all over the place. What's the crowd doing? The same thing. The crowd is on fire. They're jumping up and down. They're, that motion creates the emotions and gets people excited. You need to do that with your lives. So, all right, everybody. Who said that?
Ron?
Bonnie. Go ahead, Bonnie.
Yeah, I have quite a few pre-enrollees in Africa.
Uh-huh.
But and I've been sending them the spray link. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And but I can't get anybody to enroll. I've been following up and everything. I'm just having a hard time getting them to enroll. I got one that paid the affiliate fee, but he hasn't bought a product yet.
I would like to say there's some magic to it, but it doesn't matter what country they're in. The reality is you just need to what a cutie. You just need to get more pre-enrollees, unfortunately. You know, there's the old saying that if I can't change my audience or I can't change my friends, change my friends. It's just a numbers.
Okay.
And when it comes to building the business, we need to say as little as possible to as many as possible. We just need to keep getting out there, fall in love with the process, and just keep getting in front of as many people as you can. Because eventually, you don't need a lot. Eventually, you're going to just get a handful of people that see it. But what you don't...
So stop following up with them and focus on more?
On the people. I wouldn't necessarily stop following up on them, but I would focus on, continually getting new people.
Yeah, I am doing that. I send out about 10 a day now. But I do have to do lives too. I have found the time to do that, which I need to squeeze the time in to do that.
If you ask Robert Hollis how much follow-up he does with his pre-enrollees and people, you'll be shocked at what he does. I think he'll tell you none.
Really? Well.
Okay. He lets the system do what the system is designed to do. He lets the system do the follow-up. All he does is he continually gets people into the system. Get them pre-enrolled, get them in the system, get them in the system, get them in the system, and let the system that this genius kid, Josh Swagels, put together, that is working, that went from 9 million to 110 million, obviously it's working, and get them in front of it. Now he uses the spray or the samples. Get them in front of it. Get them in front of it.
Okay. I'll keep trucking. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Ron, is the sample funnel working today?
I don't know. I haven't tested it, so I don't know. I'll see if I can find that out and let people know. But I think it is.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, Ron. Sorry, Gina again. Have you heard on the grapevine anywhere any whispers of when we'll be getting the samples in the UK and that? Because people want samples.
I know that in my conversations with Josh and Jenna in Seattle, that is one of their highest priorities is to get products out more and more and more. Yeah. The sample program, everybody, I don't think we get it. And I want you guys to, and you can still market it to the U.S. folks for sure.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
But the reality is that is an incredibly powerful tool. When you can tell people they can get in for $32, and if you guys see these things are just so cute. Look at these little bottles. These little bottles, they got little plungers on them. They're just
Oh, way to make me feel jealous, Ron. Gosh.
Gina, did I say that this is really cute? Can you see that?
That is really cute, Ron.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rub that in.
You're supposed to be my friend.
I know.
My sister's she gets her in the mail and she goes, "This is it? This is it?" Yeah.
I've got people. I bought a bunch, and look at Gina. Look at the cool package too. I love you. The reality is, the people that we've showed the samples to, they're just flabbergasted. They're flabbergasted.
Just the oil thing.
They look at those little bottles. They look at the creams and everything, and they love it.
Yeah.
And what Josh told us in Seattle is 20% of the people that buy samples upgrade to customers or paid affiliates. So that means if you get 10 people on your sample, 2 of them are going to upgrade and buy more products. And typically it's either going to be director or above. Marketers can't, they would be happy with 2%, 3%.
Wow.
20%. So if you're not using, if you have the, you know, I'm sure Gina and Stacy will tell you that if you guys that have the sample program aren't using it, if there was any way they could take yours from you and use it themselves, they would do it in a heartbeat.
Definitely. I would think twice.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
Without backing up. Hello.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of the desert driving 80 miles an hour, so we'll see. At the end of February, with 4 days left in the month, I was at 6,800 in volume. But I had sold 12 sample packs at the beginning of the month. And not only that, I called every single one of them and some of the people that had been builders that were customers. And we were able to do another almost 4,000 in volume in 4 days, because once they've been on the product for 3 to 5 days, the follow-up and follow-through, guys, of just talking to people with excitement. And I tell my story. If you haven't heard my story, did I already drop you guys with coverage? I'm not sure. No, I guess not. I tell my story about going from taking this stuff to taking the good stuff, about how it helped me with anxiety and helped me get rid of depression and helped me sleep better. And that's how you can really grow. It's like Robert says, upgrade, upgrade, upgrade.
And that's all he's doing right now. And Troy's right. I mean, that's pretty much what he's doing, is getting people samples. How would you like to start a business for $32? Where can you do that? And not just a business, a CBD oil business for $32, right? That's huge. Josh was a genius when he came up with this. And, you know, it's just one of those things that when you know, oh, there's Jessica. And Chris, haven't seen you two in forever. The
We're
Pinkies.
driving to Vegas right now.
How close are you?
We are 4 hours away now.
And Troy, how close are you?
We're about 2.5 hours away.
Oh my goodness! Look at this. You guys and you're probably coming from different. You're coming from Utah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's coming from Oregon, so you guys are, you know, and you're gonna meet at the middle. I'm really jealous. I mean, I probably should have, you know, decided to go to Vegas too, because.
Ron, I'll sample the new product for you, and I might even bring some home.
Hey, Gina, you remember when I was kind of, you know, teasing you with the samples? That's what Troy's doing right now. He's trying to make me feel bad. Yeah, we tried to get it out of Josh in Seattle, and I almost thought I'm going to go up afterwards and see if he'll, you know, hey, I was on the stage, you know, maybe he'll give me, you know, a little. He wouldn't say a word. So, but they have asked me to speak at one of the other ones, so I may end up going to Dallas. I don't know. It might be one of those things. My oldest son is in Abilene, Texas. We haven't seen our grandson in a long time, so my wife and I may end up taking a trip to Dallas in April to go, and Jenna's asked me to speak there, so I may do that. So, but who knows? Who knows? All right. Any other questions? Look at that. I've gone over my hour time frame. Has this been helpful at all? Yes?
Yes, it has.
Good. All right, guys, this is recorded also, so if I don't get the list of equipment up there real quick, you can go back here, but I will try to get that up before the end of the day. We are going to have our normal Saturday training tomorrow at 9 a.m. I have talked to Mr. Robert Hollis. He's still not feeling great, but he will be next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, he's going to be joining us. So we want to really push for that one. Unless for some reason we both end up at a roadshow or something like that. He said, nope, I will be there next Saturday for the Dream Team training. So we're gonna probably do Q&A and just you know, give whatever insight we can to help everybody get where they need to be. So God bless you guys, and thank you for stopping by. Thanks,
Bye,
Deb.
Ron. Bye, Troy.
Thanks, Ron.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Ron.
You guys be safe. Jessica, Chris, Troy.
Oh, Stacy, send Debbie Desmond a friend request, please.
Debbie?
Bye, everybody.
Desmond, yeah, please send her a friend request, yeah?
Okay, just
Okay.
message me. I will do,
Alright then,
Debbie.
cool.
Okay, Debbie, okay. No
Yeah.
problem.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. I'll see you later.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ron.